Hello, and welcome to Present Practice with Poonam and Parker. Hello, Poonam.
Hello, Parker.
Greetings. So today we want to bow in the direction of doing one thing at a time. Doing one thing at a time. And what does that mean? Does it mean that no more multitasking? Well, oftentimes I found that it means that there's not much multitasking, but it doesn't mean that you can't have things going on. You may have to put in the dinner in the oven and now go wash the baby and then look at the email, right? And maybe while the email is happening, the child needs something from you, comes to you and wants something, or maybe the phone call that you knew is coming in that day comes. So it's not that these things can't be happening, it's that we're present. The stillness is with us through all of that activity. It's when we create such a vortex around us that there's no space, and we create all kinds of anxiety, and then it gets tighter and tighter and tighter because we are now participating. We are amping each moment up to where there's no freedom at all for there to be spaciousness. And there's all kinds of techniques about how we can be in spaciousness during any task. So right now, this is what's happening here. I'm trying to have a chat with Poonam and everybody about doing one thing at a time. And now, look at it. Hey, Kumar. So Kumar is my one thing at a time right now. Let's see if we can get a better light on him since he's a black dog. So I'll give a couple tips too. If you're sitting at your desk and have found that you're eating your lunch, you're finishing an email, you have a report that is requiring a tremendous amount of mental energy and figuring out, and to return to your body, the first thing to do is to just notice the weight of your body and how the weight of your body sits in your chair, the full weight of your body. You can return to your breath. Eckhart and Kim are always talking about one conscious breath. 2 or 3 would be fine. So we could be doing that, returning to our breath, slow, deep breathing. So count of 4 or count of 6 in, hold for a count of 4 or 6, and then exhale to a count of 4 or 6, meeting your breath where it's at, not forcing it. But you return all the attention to your breath. Another tip for the excessively chewing mind that comes from not doing one thing at a time is to put our attention on the space around our bodies. Sometimes the inside of our body doesn't feel hospitable, but the spaciousness is everywhere. So put it around your energy field in the stillness there. I wore multitasking like a badge for decades. It was a skill set on my resume. So, Poonam, I want to mention to but I don't want to say this because with the idea that we're going to create like some seeking scenario, but one of the outcomes of doing one thing at a time is the intelligence of the action, the completeness of the task, and the clarity that we're doing it in, because we're not doing it to meet the end of it. We're doing it and enjoying the doing of the thing, and let the outcome be what it is. And the outcome is often incredible quality. Some people, they superficially, we call it focusing. Focus on your studies, focus on this. It means to bring all of your attention back to it. It's beautiful, huh? Tuna doing one thing at a time. So here I am. I feel pick the books, put the books. I'm also listening, because Poonam's going to share, but the spaciousness is always there.
I actually like Abraham Hicks has a word called segment intending. So we wake up out of the bed, right? So you segment intend. I'm going to brush my teeth. I'm going to enjoy the brushing of the teeth, the flossing of the teeth. I'm going to get into the shower. I'm going to enjoy my shower. So that kind of, what I feel is, she may call it segment intending, and somehow we are using words. But if you don't use the words and just stay in the moment of, this is what I'm meant to do in this moment, is brush my teeth. It may seem very inconsequential, that why do I need to be present? Why can't I think about work when I'm brushing my teeth, right? Why can't I think about all the problems at work or problems in my personal life while I'm brushing my teeth? But your present moment was, you got out of bed and you're in front of the sink. That's where you were. The whole universe conspired, and the whole cosmos brought you to that moment of being in front of the sink, brushing your teeth. So feel the toothpaste, like Eckhart says, right? Appreciation of the ordinary. And what that does is, it kind of, through law of attraction, conscious manifestation, that is actually the invitation for abundance. As we appreciate the toothpaste, the way the mintiness of the toothpaste feels in our mouth, the foam that it is creating, and cleaning our teeth. Did we reach in the back? Did we reach our molars? You feel every tooth, every section of your mouth that you clean, and then you floss it. So all that leads to, we think it's inconsequential, but it kind of like brings us into, here is presence, and this is presence. This is presence to my shower. This is presence to my coffee. This is presence to, now I am getting into the car. And Kim Ming has this really funny story about Eckhart actually sits for 5 minutes, like very long time, before he starts to change the gear and like take his seatbelt and put on his seatbelt. He just sits there, right? But just imagine if he didn't give that much of presence, his 30, 40 years of driving, he's never met with an accident, he said. How many ever years? Why is that? Because he is so fully present, right? Before he starts to drive, and then his driving itself, he is driving with so much presence. So that's why accidents happen, is people are distracted. I mean, people talk about, no, don't look at your phone, don't text. So many people are doing that, or putting on makeup while they're sitting in traffic, putting on their mascara. Women putting on, like in Texas, I live in Texas, people put on a lot of makeup and they're putting it on while they're driving into work.
Yes, yeah. Or they're so caught up in what other people are doing or not doing, and that they need to get there first, or competing with the other driver to get there first. And it's and I think it's such a common thread for all of humanity, that which of us has not meninist, so unconscious. I myself would, amazing that I didn't get in accidents. I was I think a very aggressive driver for decades.
Did you
And
drive with your knee, use your knee to hold
oh
the steering
yes,
wheel?
oh yes. Oh yeah, I was cussing. I cussed the people out. I was yeah, very much. And there's a lot of pain. So it was my pain body that was on the road, and for a lot of people, it's their pain. So you're on the road. So here's Eckhart driving, blah blah blah. He's probably enjoying every moment, and the aggressive. He said he has been cussed in traffic. Oh
People
Lord.
have called him an idiot.
That's great.
Rolled their windows down and said, "You're an idiot."
Oh my goodness. Oh, Eckhart. Poor Eckhart. Oh, we're all doing our best. And it's, I don't want to veer off into other topics because it is very beautiful the way you've described it here about how it's not just arriving at the sink, it's taking that step off on the floor. Now here our feet are on the floor without commenting, here my feet are on the floor, experiencing, here my feet are on the floor. Sometimes for years after I had waking up, I would feel like I would wake up and just in a terrible state, and it felt like I was digging out from a hole or something. Lots of unconscious, but I always saw it, and sometimes I wasn't able to even do anything about it. I just see it, just see the dissatisfaction. It was almost like an inherent. And then one day it just went away. I didn't do anything. Just stopped one day, and you know, so getting out of bed like that, you know, and doing one thing at a time with that kind of consciousness. So it was, for me at that time, it was I was drawn towards sitting in meditation and yoga.
And what I've noticed is when we do that with email, like at work, currently my work is such that I have maybe I have a workload of 70 to, like, instead of having a workload of 120%, now I have like 70% workload. But what I do in the 30% is give each email its attention. And now my new management has noticed that about me. They go, "Poonam's gentle reminders are so sweet. Let Poonam write this email," right? But it's nothing in the words because they've made me make it very clinical the way I write the email. But it's the intent behind, because it's done with presence. I write very slowly. I look at each word, read it 2 or 3 times before I send the email. So that intentionality of segment intending or giving presence to that email itself, then when it goes to the recipient, they actually receive it very well, right? So if people are wanting to extract work out of another person, segment intent or give presence to what you're doing, right?
Yes, I like that you added not just the doing, because the speaking is doing. You know, when I was speaking with the teacher, the meditation teacher in Thailand, Chris, he mentioned that a wonderful exercise is sometimes we're not doing anything, but we're speaking, but are we also watching and listening to the sound of our own voice into the words that we're saying? And that's a beautiful reminder that you've given us here and that Chris gave us too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Parker.
Mm-hmm.